happened there. Jamie Finney from On the Ball Team Building. We're on episode 8. We had Shane Walsh there from Kilkenny, but so the Wi-Fi dropped. Let's get him back again. He said after. Geez, Shane, you're just supposed to tell a few good stories there, and you tactically cut off.
I'd say Tommy cut off the internet there before I could tell any more.
Oh, Jesus, we did a good bit covered there. But just I suppose just briefly going over it again, like because I didn't get the video just cut off straight away. But you're surviving lockdown well anyway, and everything's going according to plan.
Yeah, look, we can't complain on that side of the thing, I suppose. I suppose once you have no deaths or anything like that, or no one sick near you or anything like that, lucky enough it seemingly hasn't come into Tullaroan. But they actually say that. They say the only reason you'd be going to Tullaroan, you'd never be driving out with anything else bar unless you're going to Tullaroan. Because there's literally absolutely nothing out there.
It's a middle of nowhere, is it?
Oh, hey, middle of nowhere. Look, we've a shop, we have two pubs, our whole our own on the pub side. But other than that, look, you're at nothing driving out to Tullaroan Road.
And how's work going for you? You're doing a bit at home, are you? Or
Yeah, back to work there. Probably I'll be doing a bit there next week, tipping away or anything like that, like the likes of the services department or anything like that. So if anyone wants to get a service, call into Michael Lingmore. It's on the Hebron Road, Kilkenny.
See that? Always selling.
Try it anyway, try it.
Trying, and you look after some of the Kilkenny boys as you were covering earlier on.
Yeah, we do, yeah. I tried my best to get Porrig in there as well, but he transferred off to a different car company. He's trying to get a bucket of it off.
You might be able to pull something right though.
Yeah, I know, looking after Richie Hogan and Walter Welch, and what great ambassadors they have been, I suppose, for the last few years. Like, two of them are unbelievable hurlers, won All Irelands, Richie Hogan getting hurler of the year. People only aspire to, and the only way you can become as good as them is if you're driving Ford or Hyundai cars.
Jeez, you always said it. How are you finding training on your own?
Yeah, look, I don't mind it at all. You get used to it. You do mind missing your friends, getting a few scalps on the boys or anything like that, or getting a few scalps off them usually. Like I've friends there, say all around the park. Well, one of the boys, Doco, Dermot Dottney, who's up in Maynooth. He would have been one of my best friends in child, but it's hard not seeing a lad like that. And the closest thing you can see him on is the likes of this. But look, you know yourself, it's not the same. It's as good as we can do, so we can't complain that way.
I just saw a comment there. Your job is safe for another while, anyway.
I can see that's me boss in Michael Neelinger's son, the real boss he calls himself.
Perfect. And you were saying that you all kind of live close by, do you? The whole family, or are you spread out?
Yeah, no, we are. Just say we're here in Mount Gale. Just beside us then is Tommy and his wife and his two kids, Finn and Pippa. So like I'd have a lot of, say if I've been home here or anything like that, I'd be doing a lot with them. It'd be more keeping myself kind of sane than anything, because they're full of life from the time they get up at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. I might be getting up to 11 or 12 around there at the moment. But look, they keep you tipping over or anything like that. And then we have neighbours down the road. We don't get to see them. What we did, we had a family quiz through the WhatsApp.
You're back again. Jeez, the Wi-Fi must be very bad.
Yeah, the internet wouldn't be great around here in Tullaroan. You can hear me now, can you?
I can see hear you and see you now. Yeah, the Wi-Fi is
Yeah,
bad in
mate.
Kerry, but Jesus, it must be very bad up there.
Yeah, we are literally the bog of the oh, we're actually the hills here in Tullaroan, so there's every sort of thing coming. There's windmills and all in Tullaroan, blocking anything that can come into it. It tends not to get through that easily.
um, just a brief overview of the parish again, the club, the makeup of the club.
Yeah, make up a club. We've about 600 people. Look, as I was saying earlier on, our club is a big thing as heart. Everyone kind of backs each other, like saying the hurling club is the focal point because we also have the athletics club. But these are only things that have started over the last few
Jeez.
years. But the athletics club has now joined. Um, we have a handball club that's after a racquetball that are only after starting now in the last 2 or 3 years. But the focal point of it is the hurling club. So everyone is based in the hurling club. So that's where you meet people right down. That's the killer. That's closed there at the moment. Um, if John Conley or that is not looking, you might sneak in for a couple of pucks there, right? A few shots over the bar. But you must have cameras up or something because whenever you might sneak in, you can see that lad driving around the corner real quick, so you'd have to hide.
The inside track, and you were saying there before we got cut off further on that you're very strong in the football.
Very strong in the football. And actually, we actually would. I've probably more county finals in football from juvenile to when we get adult, but we never had any adult teams. Now we only started, but we were always in like Ryan C, maybe like that. Even though a few of us, now we had a few very good others. Jack Keown would have been wing back in the All Ireland, would have played colleges football for Kieran's, and Kieran's would be very strong in football. And he used to be centre back. So we always had a few good football lads, but we never played it. Now then again, as I told you, we got bet in the football semi-final last year, which was hard to take for some lads, I suppose.
Not naming out someone in particular, like.
I don't want the Wi-Fi to go again.
I know, fair enough. Again, I don't want to skip the point. How did you get respect in the dress room? You know, being appointed captain at such a young age and going around canvassing for it, like.
Just on the being, say, when I got captaincy, I was actually 23 when I got it, right, like that. And selector of our panel that year is Damien Clear. You probably hear a lot about him here, Clear Sports. So
Oh, yeah.
he would sell a lot of gear. He does Star Hurleys, he sells them, he does Cooper helmets. He actually came to me after it happened, and basically he was captain arch rival, our arch nemesis Greg, back when he was 23 for them to win their first senior, I think it was. And he came to me and he gave me a few points in terms of things that I could focus on that would benefit other lads throughout the year. So, like, I'm very lucky to have Damien Clear that was on board that year, who kind of just said a few things to me right now and go, you follow that path, lads will follow. And lucky enough, some of the boys, in fairness, look, they all look, I said, we have a great respect for each other in Tullaroan right like that, and a great love for each other.
Jeez, yeah, and just I suppose on because I don't want the point is obviously gone because I didn't save it, the video wasn't saved, but how many people did you have to sort out on the side to become captain?
Yeah. So that's sorry. I understand now why you're. I understand now why you're asking the questions again. No, sorry. What that was. I was living up in a house just about 100 yards up the road from my home house just to move out to get a bit of freedom or anything like that. So, man, my daddy can't be giving out to me or anything like that. My room is dirty or anything like that. But I just said to the boys that came home, just said, hey, I'm going to be captain next year. I said, do any have a problem with that? And they were like, no. Went down to the home house, told them I'm going to be captain this year. Any have a problem or anything like that? I said, if you want to go for it or anything like that, but I'm going for captain. And that wouldn't be a thing people would usually do. So I think lads knew when I went down that I was going for a purpose. Like, I didn't just want to be captain just for the sake of it or anything like that. Look, I went with something in my head or anything like that. And look, I've been just so, I've been so lucky that all worked out.
Perfect. And I was just saying there that looking into you there last night, I saw that you started off being an influencer at a young age on YouTube.
Yeah. If that's what they called it back then.
Oh, yes,
yeah. No, I got asked to do a few video things. So I was saying, look, I wouldn't have been brilliant at hurling or anything like that, and not that I am now, or anything like that. Look, I was just your average kind of hurler, probably below club hurler standard or anything like that. So I kind of got called in to do a few moody things because I was good with my mouth when I was younger, you see. I was all talk. But look, I done a bit of talking, and I got in. I have a cousin that works in KCLR, so I ended up doing commentary actually for two colleges of All Irelands. Um,
Jesus.
Now I think people on Twitter were calling me a young Michal Mahertig or that. Now who's counting? But, but no, while you're hurling, look, I couldn't stay pursuing that. I suppose. Look, you just can't get involved in that media side of it if you're going to be hurling or anything like that. Look, it just wasn't the path for me. So maybe look down the future and like that, I might get involved in some bit of something like that. But I think we'll leave all that to Tommy, I suppose, for the moment.
For the moment, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. And just on that point there, you were saying that you weren't that you weren't that talented, or you were very below par hurler at a young age. How did move up to the performances that did last year in the throughout the campaign?
Um, as in, I know you were listening to the real thing that Tommy said about me going in terms of getting a bit bigger or something like that. When I was in my first year of college, I remember being down in Limerick. I was like a child. Like it was like a fourth year on nights out. Like I remember maybe trying to shift the one or something like that, and they're like, "Who brought their young lads to here?" Well, my first year of college, they were of it. On my first year of college, the summer of it, I grew, say, rather than being like a fourth year in school to maybe a sixth year in school now. So that kind of helped me in terms of I got a bit faster then. And then, sure, look, I bought a bit into the gym stuff, but our manager, who is our current manager, Jimmy Coogan, gave, like, when I was thinking about, I was on a club team now of a poor senior team we were at the time. I was 18 and I wasn't even starting. I was only started one or two games, only coming on or anything like that. And Jimmy Coogan came to me and he distilled confidence in me and belief in me. Like my first year in, then I went taking free, so I would always took frees at our age, coming up, and I was reasonably good on like that. But he distilled a confidence in me that only made me grow and grow. And then from there, I became very friendly with Brother Damien, who brought me from your average club level to even getting looked at by, say, it was an under 21 county team at the time. And that's when just things kind of took off to that in terms of just growing as a hurler and believing in myself a lot more. And it all led to that. I would believe that last puck of the ball there against Father Needs, like things wouldn't have happened like that if Jimmy Coogan had blackguarded me and told me to go off. That was too small or anything like that, you know.
Jeez, no, that's amazing. And how they say someone had such an effect in you, like, and gave you great confidence to excel, like, and you even referenced him as well in the All Ireland speech, which is nice. And so you were always taking frees throughout your underage career, were you?
Yeah, would have took him, and I would probably have an unusual style taking frees. You might see it bend down as if like I'm sitting on a seat or something. I
Yeah.
get sneered about that. The boys would have a go at me over that. But I remember I used to take frees in primary school, and I still remember the day I changed to that. We played Lisdowney in a match in the schools. And if he took 10 frees, I drove 10 of them wide. But whatever way, I was like, no, I feel more comfortable doing that, and I've always taken frees like that. And look, I've been lucky enough that once you keep practicing like that, you'll score more something like that. Now, hey, I've missed some important frees. So when, like in terms, so it doesn't always be the greatest thing of all time. There's times I've cost Tullaroan games, and look, I'd say, and it's nothing I can be happy with. I just have to get on with it.
And I suppose, look, I suppose that's the part of sports. But there was one point there I came across. You might just expand on it. That was saying the late tens, late noughties, early tens. That you were you weren't that competitive. You lost most of your games. I believe your brother Padraig referenced that he started playing senior at in '09, and he didn't win a game till 14 or 15, I think, apart from relegation playoff.
Yeah, I think he was it 6 years, I think, Paul had played without winning the championship game with Tullaroan. Now, our Tullaroan team, we were always like, Tullaroan were brilliant when Tommy's Tommy's age, Ken Coogan, who are beyond our panel now, Richie Butler, when they were growing up, they had massive numbers. Now, could have been 15 in the one boys in the one class. That team was one of failure with Tullaroan, were supposed to excel. Different things happened, maybe lads going away, the recession, lads went away, different things, and Tullaroan never made it. So then this Tullaroan were kind of left with half, if you want to call it half, a bit of a team or anything like that, but were only struggling senior for years. And Parg only won maybe one, or sorry, what was it? He didn't even win a championship game. Sorry, till we went down intermediate.
Yeah.
Was the so that was a tough time for Tullaroan. But like you talk about, like I remember waking up, like it might have been bad for Tullaroan time, but when Tullaroan won relegation finals, it was like winning the county final. So they were the celebration. Like I remember after one relegation finals, Tullaroan got a bus and drove up around Tipperary, doing like 12 pubs up around that way, celebrating staying up. Like, so they were the things. But look, they're not the good things. They were the things that Tullaroan celebrate because they were happy with. But they always wanted the next step up. And with my age group coming with Tullaroan, we had about 7 or 8 that were born in '96. There was 5 lads maybe 97, 5 lads 98. And we now have, you talking about lads coming from underage up, we probably have, looking at team, maybe 10 of them lads are now starting on our team.
Jesus.
And that is where our team changed in the last 5 years. Like, it totally was the youth to start. Jimmy Coogan, big believer in youth, kept the boys as well, like the Stevie Marr, the soldiers of Tullaroan, like them boys took the storm, but they were the men of our panel. Like, them boys are hard. You think you're hardy. You go into a room with Stevie Marr, you'd be lucky to survive.
Jeez, that's brilliant. It's a mixture of youth and older lads, leadership, like just got the balance right.
Like you just talking about lads who just influence us. So Tullaroan, we've been living off this '94 team, and like stuff they have done still comes in. Like, we hear about all the time. Like, my uncle Dick Haywire Welsh, who was like the king of the Welshes. Like, he's like just this cult hero. Like, he actually won the family quiz in the WhatsApp the other day, which was epic. A lad who couldn't even use a phone, but like, he is the absolute cult hero. And he used to do this thing like they played Johnstown in the county semi-final, and I think Dick got done off the ball or something like that. And like, everyone was like, "Oh, Dick's gone. He's like a crafty wing forward, always guarantee a couple of points." But he was like laid out on the ground, and they're like, "Geez, is he going to get back up?" And he turns up, stands up and faces man or something like that, like just looking straight in the eye, and just goes, "A war has begun." So like, we still hear that in train of just like, them boys were the warriors of Tullaroan. You talk about heart. That's what Tullaroan came from, was them boys just like inspiring all of us. So we love hearing them stories, but that's what Tullaroan is like. Listen to the stories of the Laurie Mars and the Dick Welch is unbelievable.
That's great. You can see that was, the passion is really in you, and I suppose that's from hearing those stories throughout. Did you say growing up, did you find a bit of pressure on yourself, to reach certain targets because of Tommy and Padraig, naturally growing up, if you don't mind me asking?
There was massive pressure. I didn't have to worry about, because I never hit any of it. I never ticked any of the boxes anyway. So I never had to worry. Look, there was lads putting pressure on me, but I didn't feel it because I was never hitting any of them anyway, so I was used to it.
Fair enough.
Well, look, but we idolised them, look, as well. Look, they led the way. I was out in the garden. I could still be poor, maybe in a one-on-one game, but it's like, it's already beating lad in the garden here like that. But when you get onto the field like that, it's the dedication them lads have. The commitment is just out of this world, like, incredible.
And so before I go off the topic, did you get relegated from senior grade and down to intermediate, or were you intermediate for the last couple of years, or what was the makeup there?
No. So we were, about 5 years ago, we were a struggling team for 5 years previously to that. And then we went down, we got relegated, went down intermediate. We went down intermediate and we got we got bet the first year to Thomastown, who we bet in the final. We got bet, and we thought we were growing then. So we began then, we changed our style of hurling, everything, we adapted. We got to the semi-final bet, got bet another semi-final bet, county final bet, and then won the county final. So we got a little bit better every year. Did we lose three
Jesus.
semi-finals now? But two semi-finals. But all of our games, bar the first year, we lost Carrickshock by a point, Ballaraga by a point, and I mean, like, there was points in them games where we could have won it, like we could have pushed on and didn't, and then we were known as bottlers in the Kilkenny Championship. Like, everyone wanted us to win, but no one believed we were going to. But look, we stayed tipping away. If you don't win, you learn, and we learned. Well,
Right, we're
I'm
back
back
again.
there.
My heart.
You're
Jesus.
all right.
Will
Yeah, I
you,
was
will you
worried
tell
as
Tom, will
you.
you tell Tommy relax? Jesus. What were you saying there that you'd kind of that stigma attached to you for a couple of years, and how did that can really affect the team. Like, how did you kind of get through that or get over that, if you know what I'm trying to say?
We took it on the chin. We believed it was everyone against us, and we weren't going to go down without fight. Like, I'm watching Michael Jordan's thing at the moment. I looked at LeBron's thing. I love basketball now. All of a sudden, like, from watching that, but I started looking into LeBron. Like, them boys were 28 and all before they were winning championships. Like, so you just have to
Yeah.
stick with it till eventually happens. And look, we had the year, the greatest year of our lives, like, to a certain extent. But like, you stick with something, eventually it happens, unless you're Waterford or something like that. But them boys won. No, but to that extent, like, I know it's tough. But them boys were winning Munster, which were, I know lads were 10 year out and win Ireland, but you take to that as well. Like, and they say, look, don't they say, if you won't be happy with the medal if you're not happy without it. So them boys were winning Munster,
So
which
yeah.
was massive. They were as big as I know lads never won the All Ireland, but to them Waterford boys, they were having like a Munster final, the Harty Cup. Like, they're all, to Munster people, they're the biggest things of all time.
Yeah, true, true. Just on, I suppose, I don't know that I really asked you that already, but when you're for the age group for Kilkenny minors, were you upset for not making the minors that time, or
Look, at the time, I would have been way away from the thing. Should never been. I do remember a time leaving sort was on. A load of lads weren't training with Kilkenny minors, so they brought in even a few lads. A few lads in my club went in. At the time, I might have been thinking, geez, if they're in there, surely I deserve a chance. Shouldn't they deserve? As I told you, I was probably in
yeah?
about a 13-year-old's body at that stage. Like, really, I was. Like, if you seen pictures of me back then, hey, like, I was, and I was never going to rant like that. So lucky enough, then when I grew rant like that and got a bit stronger, look, it was massive.
Perfect. And then you got on to the under 21s, and then I suppose, look, we'll just give a brief overview of the great year you had last year. Look, I know people know of the final, but like, you were fairly dominant throughout, and the final was very, very close. Jesus, there was only, I know you scored the last 2 points, but
Who
there
got the
wasn't
last?
much
Who
in it
got the
towards the
last?
end.
Who got the last one?
You, you got the last two on this.
No, look, we had unbelievable games from the start of the year the start of the year to the finish. Um, like, we went in, we played Tullaroan our first game of the league, betting by a point. Martin came up the field, brother wing back, would have been not known for scoring, known to be can't hit the ball past 30 yards. Came up the field, struck it over the bar. We had Freshford in one of our next games. We went 5 points down in the second half, came back and eventually won it by two. We're playing Carrickshock. We got a soft goal again, Carrickshock. So we were, not that we were struggling, but we were barely winning. But they always do say, when you're not playing well and winning, it's always a great sign, and that's the way it was. And when it came to the county quarter final, we just hit the ground running. We were unbelievable. We struggled in the semi final. I myself should have been taken off. So the way things go.
Yeah.
Things like that, and then the final, it looked like it was the repeat of the final before. Stevie Down, a lad I lived up in the house, a lad I asked me to pick me as captain, one of them by us. I said he's the owner of Star Hurley, which all the Kilkenny boys will be using. But I just asked him, I said, he makes a flick in the county final, just a normal flick down the corner mat, flicks it off, maybe John Joe Farrell's hurl. It goes to someone, a lad clears down the field, Tommy gets the goal, and that sent us on the way to the win. Like, when you talk about the small things, right? That was a flick from Stevie that won it for us, like, you know.
Those margins, and then when you got into the Leinster Championship, were you strong enough there, or what was the makeup of it?
Yeah, came up again, Rose Analysis first. That was a week after the county final. Just, I remember one of the guys on that, like, so it was obviously a big thing. We were after winning Kilkenny, and Tommy win his first, and all social media kind of gone mad in it. We didn't see any of that because we were drinking to maybe the Wednesday or something like that. But we're like, look, we'd go back train now. You're playing Rose Analysis grand. But I remember late in the game, Rose Analysis were in the football as well. Like, they were doing a lot. It would have been tough on the boy. We were just pure hurling club, say. But it came to them, and I remember one of their lads turning to me and goes, you think you're great lads in the beer? I've been on it until Thursday night there, something like that. So as much as that, as like them boys were on the same, like, but they were on the same boat as us. Like, the Leinster thing wasn't a big thing at the time. So they were on the same boat, like, in terms of that. Like, they were just on this cloud as well, and they probably weren't ready for us as well, and that kind of it, you know. And then it went on, it changed then. Nace were completely different. Them boys were psyched. They brought a crowd of young lads that were roaring and bawling the whole match. We went to say, but you know, and then we got to say here in the Leinster final, things really hit. Like, look, Croke Park is there for if you want the boys, you need to step up. And our best forward, Mossy Keown, got injured in that match against Nace, so he missed the final. So we had a lad, we had Dylan Simpson scored 5 points on play, who didn't play the county final. Between his son and Liam Simpson, who hurled with Kilkenny. We had stood up when we needed him against Nace. We had Bill Gaffney, who stood up against Sarah Kieran in the Leinster final. So we had different boys stepping up. So, you know, and that made a massive difference to us.
It's a panel game, exactly like you were saying.
Yeah.
You had subs come on, you know, that were good enough to start. Like,
yeah, and that just made a massive difference. And took, you know, you'd be on about. So everyone maybe you'd be saying after the county final things slow down, but we had these boys now who are like, I want to be playing. I'm after getting a sniff, but now when it comes to Croke Park, that's the aim. I'm going to be there on the pitch.
Was it true that you had a couple of hundred people the night or two before the last training session before you made the trip to Croker?
I'd say a couple of hundred people now would probably be exaggerated a little bit, I'd say. But hey, it really, like, there was, so I remember coming in off the pitch, we stretched in the far corner. Now, remember, we're in Tullaroan, there's no lights, nothing, we're down the corner, and you can kind of see the dressing room up at the far side of the field. You're jogging across. Next to me, you hear this roar. Like, you're literally thinking you're the man, collars up, you're down the walk. You were becoming the man, like, you know, and it was just unreal. Like, the real parish, the county final was more us. I would say it was a player's win in terms of, it wasn't really like it was a player's thing. The All-Ireland final was from the last house in Tullaroan to the first. It was just incredible.
Brilliant, and that's what it was all about. Perfect. Yeah, that's what it's all about. And then I suppose, look, the day of the game, were you nervous?
Which day? All Ireland. Oh, hey,
of the final, the All Ireland.
Yeah, I went into work that morning, kind of get my head away from the thing, I suppose. But if you see maybe on my Instagram like that,
I saw that. Yeah, I thought you're only having
I was
the crack,
shaking up, and I wouldn't be like a big nervous lad, like kind of just like, you know, trying that. I was shaking driving out. I actually, like, it was one of the worst. No, the county final was definitely worse, but I was shaking going, right, this is the big day, Tullaroan. Are you ready for a kind of thing? And just look, when we got to the pitch then, after 20 minutes, look, everyone was, the nerves, everything is gone. After 5 minutes, look, and driving into Croke Park, seeing everything, like, you dream of them things, like, you know.
Brilliant. And I suppose with the lads that were there already before on the team, I suppose, had you prepared, what to expect and not to be
Um,
overwhelmed.
yeah, one Shem Dunn, who would have been our selector, his son Tomas in midfield, just came over to me. It's maybe when we went to Whitehall Club before, and he just goes, "Hey," he said, "I was talking to a lad who played here in a club or something like that." He says, "One thing," he said, "just be ready for is you're going to be on the big screen." So he said, when you're taking frees or something like that, he said, just be ready that you're not just caught looking at yourself, admiring yourself or anything like that. But you talk about small things, and I would have been out there like that. So when I went on pitch first, I had a little quick admire, and then forgot about the
Got
rest
that
of
out
the
of the
game.
system. Brilliant. And just bring us through. We said towards the end of that game, it was really tit for tat. Like I remember
Oh
watching
yeah,
it, and I watched the highlights there again. And it was, geez, there was nothing in it. Like, and it was a high scoring game as well.
yeah. Yeah, like look, second half took a world of its own. It really, like, genuinely couldn't have told you what the score was at times. They seemed to be getting goals for fun, which at the time you're like, right, next ball, next ball, next ball, and that was a thing now. So it wasn't as if, like, not just saying that, mate, like, it was literally just forget about next ball. What can you do with next ball? And hopefully, and eventually, I remember looking at the scoreboard. We were gone maybe a point ahead or level. And I was like, thank God. I said, just need to drive it on now. And the leveling point they got, that was my man that passed it to. It was actually Murty's man that got me brother Murty's man that got the pipe. It was my lad that set him up. Like, we're even watching it over at Christmas, and the father goes, "Hey, how could you let your man go for that? Like, Iron final." So, like, I was as devastated that. Now I put down to the backs a bad clearance, but sure.
Let's get it in there.
Yeah, yeah.
um, but yeah, no. In fairness to you, were you nervous taking that last free? Because look, you probably didn't really know, was that going to be the last puck of the game or what? Like, but
Yeah,
what was
last
going through your head?
free. What was going through my head was I was down in just where I am in Michael Lings. There's a hurling pitch across the road, O'Loughlin Gales.
Mm.
I went down there with one of the boys in the parks department. We kind of snuck off for an old half an hour maybe, little bit longer lunch. But we went down there. Fairness, the boys in work are unreal for that. Like, if you need that, they just let you off. So I was like, yeah, any chance, just go down to practice or anything like that. Went down, and as we're doing, I said, "Jays Liam," I said, "this is going to be like the Iron final now. Is this all going over?" So when I stood there in that spot for Iron final, I said, "Right, you're with Liam Galvin now." I said, "This is it. Just put over." And lucky enough, and hey, they could easily went to wide, like.
Yeah, well, look, it went over. It was, and what about that? I said the very last score. It was kind of you won the ball, then you lost the ball, and then you won the ball again and pucked it over. Did you kind of realize that's it then, or what went
Oh,
through
hey,
your head?
when I hit that over, still was in total focus mode in terms of, because we were after losing the league final this year to Thomastown. And I remember, like, this is just such a. I remember game 6 minutes were out of time. I turned to me man who I was friendly with, and I said, he was like, "Oh, F's sake," kind of giving out himself. I was like, "Geez, Jay, like, it's only the league. Like, look, you'll be grand in championship, this kind of a thing." But I was only saying, like, because I thought the game was over, right? Ball comes down, my lad wins it, clears it up the field, they get the winning goal, and I was like, "Oh my God." Like, and I was feeling like, I know lads might, I was feeling I cost them that game. So, but the whole thing then is forget about championship. So when it came to that moment, I was like, right, referee, this thing over on the sideline, referee's giving another fight or another minute, sorry, another minute. Be ready for this. When he blew that whistle, oh man, it was unbelievable. Like, it was like floating on clouds. I remember hugging Mossy, Tommy, Fader came in. Fader didn't even come to me for the county final. He was off with down there. So grabbing them was just like, and I remember the boys Tino coming over, Simo, Jim Moore, and it just being like we were invincible. We felt like, nothing could have put us down there. I remember, like, Crow Park, like, maybe telling you to get off the pitch. I was like, no, this is our moment. You don't have to drag us off. Like, get up the boys.
Brilliant, brilliant. And how prepared were you with the speech?
Look,
Was it off the cuff or?
yeah, same again. I would have been good for talking. So coming up to the county final, Davy Buggy came over to me. A selector just goes, "Look, speech, don't think about it. Write down 5 or 6 names. Don't hand it to your father. Hand it to me, father." All Ireland final just goes like a little bigger occasion. You want to make sure you're mentioning everyone and anyone. Do you know what kind of way? So I got Tommy to come in
Yeah.
and said, "Look, I wrote down like 20 something names, but them boys are all part of the thing, and sure, look, I mightn't be there again, and why not? So I wrote down 20 names, and then the other stuff was just off the cuff, but I would like, and saying again, I talk, that's my job is sales, like, right, like that, so if I couldn't come up with something there in the spot is all I call.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. And did you get a couple of days off as you requested?
What, like, that was a busy time, very busy time. I wasn't expecting to be choosers.
We're back again. What do you say?
Sorry, I was just saying, like, like, that was a busy time of the year for us. So I was nervous enough, like, in terms of asking for a few days off. So I remember coming up, I was like, right, I'll see. So got a few text messages on, look, enjoy the celebrations. Like, right, that's Monday, Tuesday off, you know, or sorry, maybe the game was on a Saturday, so that was Saturday. I was like, right, that's definitely Monday off. I was like, right, surely meant Tuesday. And then Wednesday, then I don't think I went in Wednesday either. I was like, right. So I just text them, and in fairness, they didn't say a word to me. So I just text them. I was like, hey, I'll be back in tomorrow. They're like, look, take your time, right, like that. But then, you know, at first they were unreal to me. I was delighted. I got to the like 4 days, so I was absolutely fucking dying in the bed.
Brilliant,
Like,
brilliant. And look,
I
that's what
remember
it's all about.
actually, like I remember coming out, and I was like, so I actually got up for work on the Wednesday. Now I was row off, so every session, like, it wasn't like, right, 2 o'clock in the morning done.
Right, so we're okay now again,
Well,
let's say.
you can hear me there now, can you?
Again, yeah, Jesus. He was telling him, just give us another 5 minutes, like, and he can turn off the Wi-Fi in.
But like, I came the Wednesday, I woke up, I was like, right. Oh no, it was the Tuesday I woke up. It was the Wednesday. The Wednesday I was like, right, I'll go to work today. Need to get back. And I remember just getting over, walking over the bathroom, just like puking me ring up in the bathroom. And I was like, oh God, I said, look, there's no way. Imagine going into work trying to sell a car and puking on top of a car. So I
Well,
remember then I was like,
there's a
what?
comment there. See the
His
comment.
body came
His
back
body came
Wednesday,
back.
ahead about 2 weeks later.
Would
But
that be right?
yeah, look, it was. Look, but when I came back, so that Wednesday I woke up, I rang Marliese, my sister-in-law, to Marliese, say, look, if I got caught driving now, like, I would be shot, like, I'd be hung on the post, like, there's no way. But you dropped me into work, and she came up to the house, she goes, the fucking cut you, she goes, there's no way you're going to work. So I was like, yeah, maybe it's not, so look, head down to the boys or down the house. Right, that. I was like, yeah, no worse. So I went down she dropped me back down to her house. And I came across like Mossy Keown in the bed, Dylan Simpson, Paul Boogie was hugging a penguin, like you just teddy bear hung a penguin. I walked into Tommy's room. He was wearing a full suit, lying on top of the bed. He had the same intentions as me, but
Always
obviously
ready.
didn't make it as well.
Brilliant, brilliant. So it was definitely worth it. And I suppose, do you think it was it's a good step that the All Ireland Club Championships are played in Croke Park? Do you think it adds to the whole thing?
Oh, jeez, hey, look, there'd be no point not playing. If you played it elsewhere, look, it'd be a waste of time. If
Yeah.
every All Ireland final, camogie as well, anything like that, even the intermediate All Irelands in terms of county thing, like everything, every final, Croke Park is like that. Everything should be going to Croke Park, and that's just the way it should be.
Perfect, perfect. And say we'll wrap it up now. But the biggest influence on your career, who has been the biggest influence on your career?
Um, really, like favorite hurler, I suppose, suppose, yeah. Influence definitely probably Liam Keown and Bill Helsey, two legends of Tullaroan, talk about hard men, skill, determination, all that kind of stuff. They were Jim Moore, I see, thinks he's an inspiration. But I'd say the likes of them, and then like even you talk about lads inspiring you now. So JJ Delaney to me is the greatest of all time. And even I text Stevie down there the other day. I said, hey, any chance you'll make me a JJ Delaney? They obviously make JJ's her. I said, make me a JJ her. So he sent off from catching balls like anything now.
Brilliant, brilliant. And obviously Kilkenny is very, very competitive, and same with the Kerry Football Championship here. Who do you least like marking in the club scene, we say training wise with your own club, and then if you're playing opposition? Could this get you in trouble now?
No. I see Gilly O'D there, first cousin. She reckons she was tough to mark. But hard people to mark. I'd say the one lad, like we just like spoke about him earlier on, Stevie Marr. Like Stevie Marr is like 33, 34, and like every year, like so I'm coming in terms of 24 again. Like I'm supposed to be getting stronger and faster, but no matter how good you think you're getting, you just don't get the better of him. Now we would have had good lads out like Diarmuid Dotney, we Jack Young, like Mark and them lads, even brother Martin, I would have marked him a few times. Talk about a lad at 9 you're marking you. Martin is that kind of lad, niggling, that kind of stuff. But there, look, we've had loads of hard lads to mark, or like that, or players to mark.
Perfect. And I suppose, look, to where you are now, everything's obviously going the right direction, thankfully. What advice would you give to younger lads growing up that, look, obviously are going to get setbacks in their career? What advice would you give to them?
Oh, if there was setbacks, I'm the king of setbacks. If there was anything of that. No, look, if you love hurling, just stay doing it, tipping away. And once you're enjoying it or anything like that, look, if you're not enjoying hurling or anything like that, you're wasting your time. Like, you want to be looking forward to going down and playing matches. Now, forget about the running, because no one enjoys that stuff. But the matches there with your friends, the crack afterwards, the pub after, the schneer, and this kind of stuff, like that's where you make all your friends through that. So I would say definitely it's getting involved in just once you're happy playing. Like if you're not happy about the competitive side of it, the likes of the juniors, that kind of stuff is so much enjoyable. And I played junior for 3 or 4 years. It was so enjoyable. Like the intermediate, now senior now, like is obviously very folks or like that, but you can still have the crack as well. And look, that's a big thing. Just once you're enjoying it, but just stay practicing the small skills, and hopefully you'll grow into a big tank like me.
On that note, look, Shane, thanks a million for your time. We would have kept talking, but I was better wrap it up because I don't want to lose this now.
Yeah, no, that's a lot. Thanks very much for that. Thanks, Jamie.
Shane, thanks a million.